You got nothing?
I had nothing to start with.
Okay.
What do you say?
All right. Well, let's start with Ukraine today. The security alert put out by the embassy. First off, can you be more specific as to what led to that?
So you're right. You saw the security alert that went out early this morning, overnight our time. The embassy put that alert out based on a possible threat of a significant attack on Kyiv, something that we take very seriously and led to the temporary change in posture at the embassy. We expect the embassy to return to normal operations tomorrow. I can't get into obviously the specifics of the threat, but it's something that we always monitor closely. We take the safety and security of our personnel it's very important to us. We take it extremely seriously, and that's what led to the change in posture today, and we expect it to resume normal operations tomorrow.
Okay. Well, did this threat materialize? Given the time there now, it's after dark now.
So I'm not aware of any significant strikes that have happened yet today in Kyiv, though, as you know, Ukraine has been the subject of incredibly tragically significant strikes over the last few days, and there's always a threat to more strikes. We base our security posture based on the best assessments we make of all the information available to us, and try to be incredibly cautious to protect our personnel.
All right, and it didn't actually result in the reduction of any staff, right?
No one has left Ukraine as a result of this. There were just people that were going to come into the office that didn't come into the office today, and we expect them to come in tomorrow.
Okay, and then on the landmine decision, what can you tell us about that?
So I can confirm, as you heard the Secretary of Defense speak to earlier today, that we are providing the Ukrainian government with non-persistent anti-personnel landmines. We have been providing them with anti-tank landmines for some time, but this is the first time we are providing them with anti-personnel landmines. There are a few things that I think are important to note about this new provision of equipment to the Ukrainians. One is that, as you have heard the Secretary say many times, we always adapt and adjust our policies based on real-world events. And the real-world events that we have seen are Russian advances, specifically Russian infantry advances in eastern Ukraine. And these non-persistent anti-personnel landmines are designed to blunt those types of infantry advances. They are very different from the landmines that the Russians have deployed and that you have seen other militaries, including our own military, deployed decades ago. The landmines that the Russians have deployed in Ukraine, and there are somewhere around 2 million landmines that the Russians have deployed, will remain a threat for decades, can go off at any time and harm not just soldiers, but civilians, and will long outlast the conflict. What that means is they are battery powered, and they have a battery, and they can be set. The battery will expire somewhere between 4 hours and 2 weeks, at the most 2 weeks from when they are deployed. So the landmines will be deployed, and then within 2 weeks, if they have not been detonated, they become inert. So they will not pose a threat to the civilian population at the end of the conflict. Now, that said, they also have a high metal content, so they're easy to detect and easy to remove. And we know Ukraine is going to have to conduct an operation at the end of the conflict to remove unexploded ordnance already, both from the 2 million landmines that Russia has deployed, as well as other unexploded ordnance. They have already been conducting that type of operation in some of the territory that they have recaptured, and the United States is committed to provide them $284 million to support those efforts. Daphne, go ahead.
The Ukraine has said that Russia was trying to sow panic by circulating fake online messages about a massive looming missile and drone attack. Was the temporary change in posture of the embassy a result of those messages online, or was there something more that the U.S.
I'm not going to speak to the information that we rely on to make our security assessments, but we always base those assessments on a broad range of factors, and we look at a number of sources of information, including open source information, including intelligence information that we have, including information that we get from our partners, and we make the best decisions possible in real time to try to protect our personnel, and we'll continue to do that.
Okay, and then Ukraine has reportedly fired a volley of British Storm Shadow cruise missiles into Russia today. Do you have any information on this? Was the U.S. given a heads up?
I can't speak to that. I can't confirm it.